And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to All Sports West New York. It's your old buddy, Bob Kaczynski. Great show lined up for you tonight. First of all, we'll be speaking on the phone in just 1 minute with Tim Graham, the excellent writer from Buffalo News who broke the Terry Pegula's buying the Buffalo Bills story today. And then a little later on, Dick Gallagher, the guru of high school sports in Western New York. We'll be talking high school football. So that's all on tonight's show. We'll also be hearing from Fred Jackson, a little bit from Bucky and Sully and Doug Marrone coming up in the show. But first, let us go via telephone to the excellent sports reporter and writer for the Buffalo News, Tim Graham, who's been ahead of everyone else on this Buffalo Bills ownership story. Tim, thanks for being on with us. You broke the story. Well, you had it last night. You had it this morning. And in fact, I think you were almost ready to write this last night.
Well, first, thanks for the kind words on the coverage, Bob. It's been a pleasure to write this story, an honor, really, because it's the biggest sports story in Western New York history as far as I'm concerned, and maybe even bigger than a championship, although everybody's craving that. But this move today at least guarantees that Bills fans are going to be able to compete for a championship here in Western New York with their team staying. It happened fast. It was something that I didn't expect to happen this fast, and the more people I talked to, both with the Buffalo Bills and with the different ownership groups, they didn't think it was going to happen this fast either. But I think that could signify how impressive Terry Pegula was compared to the other bidders when all the bids started to come in, and that he was the total package. He has the liquidity. He has the rooting interest of not only the fans but the politicians who are very influential in this. And the stability aspect that the NFL wanted. The NFL did not want the Bills to leave Buffalo. And Terry Pegula provides the most stability and generational stability at that.
Tim, there was reports, and obviously some of them were not very accurate, that there could be as many as 10 or more eventual bids. Do you think Pegula scared them away, or do you just think that was shoddy reporting?
I think it was a bunch of different factors. The NFL made it clear to a lot of people that they did not want the Bills to leave. So that scared away a lot of the bidders who might want to relocate the team even to, say, Los Angeles, or from having multiple suitors to come from Toronto. So that part of it was a problem in terms of generating a more volume of bids. The non-disclosure agreement from Morgan Stanley was considered really prohibitive from different groups partnering up together, which is something that usually happens in a purchase for a major asset like a sports franchise. People who might look like they're going to come in second to another bid decide, you know what, let's team up together and see if we can get this team. And that really didn't happen. There were none of these partnerships that developed throughout the sale process. So really, in the end, what happened was you had Terry Pegula, who didn't have any partners involved. It made him much more attractive to the NFL. There were no problems. There was no infighting or dissension or missteps like there was with the Toronto group, because Terry Pegula is essentially bidding with his wife, and that's it. Whereas everybody else seemed to have, with the exception of Donald Trump, everybody else seemed to have some sort of partnership that didn't materialize, such as Tom Golisano with Scott Conjal. There were talks that they were on again, off again. It was just, I think, really what it boiled down to. The volume of bids weren't there, but they got the right people to bid, and there was Terry Pegula with the money, and the Toronto group that was just formidable enough or just scary enough to make sure that Terry Pegula made a big bid.
I'm told the NFL wanted a basement number of at least $1 billion. You believe the bid is more than that?
I do. I think it's going to turn out to be a record. The record for a team is $1.1 billion, which was the Miami Dolphins in 2009, another sale that I covered back when I was living down in South Florida. But that also included a stadium. This is just a team. So even if the Bills come in a little bit under what the Dolphins went for at $1.1 billion, it'll still be considered the record, $1.05 billion for the Browns in 2012. But I'm hesitant to say a number. I'm hearing some numbers, and I think it's going to be a healthy bump up from the Dolphins' $1.1 billion.
And I would imagine you, as others, believe this is going to be a slam dunk when the owners get to vote on it.
It is, and I think that that's part of Morgan Stanley's job, is to vet whoever it's going to pick as the winner. They've already gone through that process of determining, okay, this guy is going to be approved. Because, Bob, what you don't want to do is have to go through this process again. If they were to present to the NFL a dud candidate, then you have to start over from scratch practically. You have to go to the guy who finished number 2, and that's an unenviable position to be in. So you want to make sure that when you finally decided who has the winning bid, that they're going to go through with flying colors. You need 75% of the owners to approve. I would be surprised if it's not unanimous.
Tim, excellent job once again. Thanks for taking time out of what has been a couple busy days for you, and great job. And we'll continue to read your stuff.
Always a pleasure. Thanks so much, Bob.
Okay, Tim Graham from the Buffalo News. We'll be back more on All Sports, talking football, talking Buffalo Bills right after this.